We're going to get into module 7, which is how do you tenant the property? How do you literally tenant the property? Now, a lot of you have been asking already, about how do you tenant the property? How do you do referencing? We're going to be touching it now. So on module number 7, how to tenant the property is listing the property on different portals. Listing the property on different portals. Now, in listing your property in different portals, the property portal number 1 that you should go and put in and advertise your now well-styled, photographed, branded property is Open Rent. We use Open Rent a lot to market to our tenants. Now, Open Rent, you have 3 different types of services that they have there. You can post completely for free and get less, or you can pay and get more. It's just like people getting started in property, and some of them will go onto YouTube and try to get started and make a lot of mistakes. Or some of you might have bought some cheap courses online whereby they just explain one model to you and you don't actually know the nitty-gritty of what you're doing, but you actually got the deal, you're happy you got the deal, but you don't know how to literally scale that business. Now, for Open Rent, it's still similar. So what does that mean? If you go and get the free account and don't pay, you're not going to get tenants. All right. Maybe you might get lucky enough to get one, but ideally you should always pay for services that you use on the website because the free ones wouldn't get you anything. Now, we also used to use a company called Property Azuna, but they've now shut down during the COVID situation. They're no longer there. And we use Facebook groups as well to market and target international students. And the Facebook groups, all right, it's pretty simple. For those of you, Kevin spoke about social media. If you're not on Facebook, if you're not on social media right now, your business is not going to thrive. Just make sure you get onto social media because social media has people. Property is a people's game. It's a people's business. So make sure you go and sign up on Facebook so you can then join Facebook group and so you can market your property to all these international, students, people looking to rent a property and don't want to use a lettings agent, and you can target those type of people. Now, Facebook also have something called the marketplace, where you can literally advertise just like Spare Room, just like Open Rent, and just like Rightmove to get tenants to rent your property. I used to use a company called My Home Renter. I doubt if we still use them because I don't literally manage any of my property. So in my property journey right now, ladies and gents, I basically don't do jack because I have a team within the business. I have a full-time operations manager and I have a full-time property manager, and I obviously have a full-blown accounting and financial assistant in my business. So I don't chase rent, I don't chase my money, people chase my money for me. Before actually me chasing my money, I have a superior accountant and tax advisors. So I have a superior accountant that chases up my financial assistant in-house. All right, they chase the money for me, and I have a property manager who my operations manager then obviously chase up to make sure they're doing what they're doing. So I literally spend 0 time in my property portfolio right now. As I said, I have just around about 100 tenants in my portfolio. So I don't really use my home renter at the moment because I'm quite aware of what's going on in the business, but I'm very sure we don't use my home renter anymore. You can also use Gumtree to find tenants for your property. Now, one of the most efficient, one of the most busiest and most best website to use to find your tenant is Spare Room. Spare Room has created something so amazing that every single one of the rest that I mentioned cannot even compare with them. Spare Room is the best marketplace for you to find your tenant. And once in a while, we used to use on the market, but the very first thing that we do in tenanting our properties where we have looking for tenants is Spare Room, then Open Rent, then Gumtree, then if we're not getting enough people, what we normally do is start promoting on Instagram, promoting on Facebook. But usually what we do first is we use Spare Room. And pre-COVID and post-COVID, Spare Room has given us amazing results. So we don't actually even use any of them anymore. But these are portals that you can go and use should you need to get in your property tenanted as soon as possible and run multiple ads on every single portal.